Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by asking you something. What if I told you that 3 simple words could change your life? 3 words, when spoken from the heart, could break down barriers, build bridges, and attract the people you've been longing to connect with. Whether it's that special someone or just deeper relationships with those around you. Now I know what you're thinking. 3 words? Can it really be that simple? Yes, it can. But before you jump to conclusions, let me ask you to stay with me, because by the time we're done, you'll not only understand the power of these words, but also how to use them in a way that aligns with your true self. The power of words is a force we often underestimate. Every word we speak carries with it a potential to heal or to harm, to connect or to divide, to inspire or to discourage. Think about this. How many times have a few simple words changed the course of your day or even your life? Maybe it was a compliment that lifted your spirits when you were feeling low. Maybe it was a harsh criticism that stuck with you longer than you wanted it to. Words matter because they are the vehicles of meaning, the tools we use to express what's in our hearts and minds. Now here's the thing, not all words carry the same weight. Some words, when spoken at the right time and with the right intention, can break through walls. They can create an instant connection where none seemed possible. And when it comes to attracting the right people into your life, whether as friends, partners, or collaborators, it's not about being the loudest voice in the room or the smoothest talker. It's about choosing words that resonate on a deeper level. Words that show people you see them, you value them, and you understand them. There's a reason why some people seem to draw others in effortlessly. It's not always because they're the most attractive or the smartest or the most successful. It's because they know how to communicate in a way that makes others feel seen and heard. They've tapped into the power of words to make people feel significant, to make them feel like they matter. And when you can do that, when your words consistently uplift and encourage, you become a magnet for meaningful relationships. But here's the key. Words alone are not enough. You can say all the right things, but if they don't come from a place of authenticity, they'll fall flat. People are incredibly intuitive when it comes to detecting insincerity. They may not always be able to put their finger on it, but they'll feel it. And that's why it's so important to understand the second layer of this concept, the confidence and authenticity behind your words, carried by renewed commitment. Confidence isn't about being the loudest person in the room or dominating every conversation. It's about being secure in who you are and comfortable in expressing yourself honestly. When you speak with confidence, your words carry more weight because they're backed by belief. People are drawn to those who are comfortable in their own skin because it gives them permission to be comfortable in theirs. Confidence is contagious. It creates an energy that people want to be around. But let me be clear, confidence without authenticity is just arrogance in disguise. Authenticity is what makes your confidence relatable. It's what keeps it from crossing the line into ego. Authenticity means being real. It means owning your flaws as much as your strengths. It means speaking from the heart, not from a script. When you combine authenticity with confidence, you create a presence that's not only attractive, but also trustworthy. Imagine this. You're talking to someone, and they're not just hearing your words, they're feeling them. They can tell that what you're saying comes from a genuine place. They can sense that you're not just trying to impress them or win them over. You're being honest about who you are and what you value. That kind of communication is rare and it's powerful. It's the kind of communication that sticks with people long after the conversation is over. Second, communication that sticks with people long after the conversation is over. This is why understanding the power of words and the importance of confidence and authenticity is so crucial. They're not separate concepts. They're 2 sides of the same coin. Your words have power because of the intention and belief behind them. And the more you understand this, the more intentional you can be about the way you communicate. When you speak, don't just aim to fill the silence. Aim to add value to the moment. Aim to make the person you're speaking to feel something real, something meaningful. Whether it's a simple thank you, a heartfelt compliment, or an acknowledgement of someone's efforts, those moments of connection are what people remember. They're what draw people to you and make them want to stay in your orbit. The beauty of this is that it doesn't require you to be someone you're not. You don't have to memorize lines or adopt a persona. You just have to be yourself, your best, most authentic self, and let your words reflect that. When you do, you'll find that the people who are meant to be in your life will be drawn to you naturally, not because you're trying to attract them, but because you've created a space where they feel valued and understood. That's the reality. That's the power of words and the strength of authenticity working together. It's not about manipulating or persuading, it's about connecting. And that connection is what changes everything. Respect and empathy are the cornerstones of any meaningful connection. At their core, they embody the idea of valuing someone for who they are and understanding where they're coming from. When we talk about attracting others into our lives, we often focus on surface-level qualities, looks, charm, or charisma. But those things only scratch the surface. What truly resonates with people, what creates lasting impressions, is the ability to make them feel seen and understood. Think about the people you're drawn to. Chances are they're not just the ones who flatter you or agree with everything you say. They're the ones who make you feel respected. They listen when you speak, they acknowledge your feelings, and they show you in both words and actions that your presence matters to them. That's what respect looks like. It's not about putting someone on a pedestal or catering to their every whim. It's about recognizing their inherent value as a person. And that empathy takes us a step further. While respect acknowledges someone's value, empathy seeks to understand their experience. It's the willingness to step into their shoes, even if only for a moment, and see the world through their eyes. This isn't always easy, especially when we don't share the same experiences or perspectives. But it's in those moments of effort, when we try to bridge the gap between our understanding and theirs, that genuine connections are formed. Imagine you're having a conversation with someone, and instead of just hearing their words, you take the time to really listen. You pick up on the emotions behind what they're saying. You ask thoughtful questions. You respond in a way that shows you're not just hearing them, you're feeling with them. That's empathy in action. And it's a skill that can transform every interaction you have. People are drawn to those who make them feel understood because understanding is a universal need. We all want to know that our thoughts and feelings matter, that someone cares enough to pay attention. When you approach your relationships with respect and empathy, you're not just making people feel good in the moment. You're creating a foundation of trust and mutual understanding that can last a lifetime. This brings us to the idea of intentional communication. If respect and empathy are the principles that guide your interactions, intentionality is what gives them power. Intentional communication means being purposeful about the way you express yourself. It means choosing your words carefully, not because you're trying to manipulate the outcome, but because you recognize the impact your words can have. So many of us go through life speaking on autopilot. We say the things we think we're supposed to say, or we blurt out the first thing that comes to mind without considering how it might be received. But when you approach communication with intention, everything changes. You start to think about what you want your words to accomplish. Are you trying to uplift someone, to offer comfort, to inspire action? When you're clear about your purpose, your words become more powerful because they're aligned with your goals. Intentional communication also means being mindful of how your words might be perceived. It's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it. Tone, body language, and timing all play a role in how your message is received. A compliment can feel genuine or hollow depending on the way it's delivered. A simple "how are you" can spark a meaningful conversation or fall flat depending on the level of sincerity behind it. When you communicate with intention, you start to notice the small things that make a big difference. You take the time to greet someone warmly instead of rushing past them. You remember little details about what they've shared with you and bring them up later to show you are paying attention. You choose your words not just to convey information, but to create connection. The beauty of intentional communication is that it doesn't require grand gestures or elaborate speeches. Sometimes it's the simplest things that have the biggest impact. A kind word, a genuine compliment, a heartfelt thank you. These moments of intentionality are what make people feel valued. They show that you're not just going through the motions, but that you're fully present and invested in the interaction. And at its core, intentional communication is about being present. It's about showing up for the people in your life, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. It's about giving them your full attention and making them feel like in that moment, they're the most important person in the world. That kind of presence is rare, and it's something people never forget. When you combine respect, empathy, and intentional communication, you create a dynamic that draws people in. You become someone others want to be around, not because of what you have or what you can do for them, but because of how you make them feel. And that feeling is what builds connections that truly matter. The desire for connection runs deep in every one of us. It's not just about having someone to talk to or share a laugh with. It's about feeling understood, valued, and respected. We want to know that we matter, that our presence makes a difference in the lives of others. This longing isn't something we can suppress or ignore. It's hardwired into who we are as human beings.